Once upon a time, in the heart of a vast kingdom nestled between enchanted forests and shimmering lakes, there were three princesses who lived in the grand castle of Eldoria. Each princess was known throughout the land for her unique gifts, beauty, and courage. Despite their differences, they shared a bond that was unbreakable. The eldest, Princess Ilara, was wise beyond her years. She had raven black hair that cascaded down her back like a waterfall of night, and her piercing blue eyes could read the hearts of those who sought her counsel. Ilara had mastered the art of diplomacy and was known as the Princess of Wisdom. She spent her days in the royal library, poring over ancient scrolls and learning the secrets of magic and history. The kingdom often turned to her in times of crisis, and she always provided a thoughtful solution. The middle sister, Princess Seraphina, was the embodiment of grace and beauty. With golden locks that shimmered in the sunlight and emerald green eyes, she was adored by the people of Eldoria. Seraphina had a kind heart and a voice so enchanting that when she sang, even the birds would stop to listen. Her gift was one of healing, both physical and emotional. Known as the Princess of Compassion, she often wandered the kingdom, visiting villages and tending to the sick and downtrodden. Seraphina believed in the power of love and kindness, and her presence brought warmth to everyone she encountered. The youngest, Princess Lyra, was the wild spirit of the three. Her fiery red hair matched her fiery temperament, and she was as bold as she was brave. Lyra loved adventure, and while her sisters would be found in the castle or helping the people, Lyra could often be seen riding her horse through the forest, exploring the unknown. She was a master of the sword and had trained with the fiercest warriors in the land. Known as the Princess of Courage, Lyra was always ready to defend her kingdom from threats, whether they came from within or beyond the borders. One day, a dark cloud loomed over Eldoria. From the north came whispers of a growing darkness, a sorcerer named Malgar who sought to conquer the kingdom with his army of shadow creatures. The king and queen, wise and just rulers, knew that their people were in danger. They called upon the three princesses, knowing that each of them had a part to play in the coming battle. "We must unite," said Ilara as she spread a map across the grand table in the war chamber. "Malgar is not just powerful, he is cunning. We must outthink him." "But we cannot sit and wait for him to strike," Lyra argued, her hand resting on the hilt of her sword. "We must take the fight to him, surprise him before he can unleash his full force." Seraphina, ever the mediator, placed a gentle hand on Lyra's arm. "There is more than one way to fight a war. We must also win the hearts of the people, for their hope will be our greatest weapon. And perhaps we can turn Malgar's heart as well." With a plan in place, the three princesses set off on their separate quests. Ilara ventured to the mountains in search of an ancient artifact that would enhance her magic and allow her to foresee Malgar's movements. Seraphina traveled to the villages, healing the wounded and spreading hope among the people, inspiring them to stand strong against the coming darkness. Lyra led a band of warriors into the forest, where she hunted down Malgar's spies and prepared for the final battle. As the days turned into weeks, the tension in the kingdom grew, but the princesses never wavered. Each in their own way was preparing for the inevitable clash with Malgar. Finally, the day of reckoning arrived. Malgar and his shadow army descended upon Eldoria, but they were met not with fear, but with a united force. The people of the kingdom stood strong, bolstered by Seraphina's kindness and courage. Ilara, with her newfound power, directed the armies with precision, knowing where and when the enemy would strike. And Lyra, at the front of the battle, fought with the ferocity of a lioness, her sword blazing in the light of the setting sun. The battle raged for hours, and just when it seemed that Malgar's magic would overwhelm them, the three sisters joined forces. Ilara cast a spell that broke through Malgar's dark magic. Seraphina's voice rang out in a song that filled the hearts of the warriors with renewed strength, and Lyra, with one final, powerful strike, shattered the sorcerer's staff, the source of his power. With Malgar defeated, the shadows dissipated, and peace returned to Eldoria. The three princesses, though tired and bruised, stood tall as their people cheered. Together they had saved their kingdom, proving that wisdom, compassion, and courage were the most powerful forces of all. And so the princesses of Eldoria continued to rule, each bringing her own gifts to the kingdom, ensuring that it thrived for generations to come. And they lived happily ever after.